T Squad, it's me, Keisha. I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 13, Episode 8 review. Let's get right into it because tonight's episode was a banger, honey. I got a lot of notes and a lot of thoughts and opinions. Let's get right into it, okay? And for all of you crazy fans out there, state your opinions about the show, not about what I got to say. I don't care who team you on. I'm on Team Jesus. Please do not get blocked, okay? Let's get into it. So, the next day, Marge and the girls are sitting at the breakfast table discussing what happened the night before with Danielle and her allegedly not telling the whole story about why her and her brother have not been speaking for the last 2 years. I firmly believe that it has to be more than that. Other things had to have transpired or there's more to that story, but that just cannot be it. If it is, that's ridiculous and everybody needs Jesus. Over at Jen Aiden's house, they're sitting at the breakfast table having a Turkish breakfast and they're talking about everything that happened. And Jen was like, Rachel was a little S-starter. And I don't think that Rachel was being an S-starter. I think that she was doing what she came to do, which was go back and tell somebody what was said to keep stuff going. That's what they're getting paid to do. It just so happened that Danielle was the culprit. You need to learn how to play the game, darling. You really honestly do. You was talking mess and it got back to other people and you need to stand on what you said. Point blank, Andy, period. And it's obvious that Rachel has pretty much sided with Marge and them, which is to me the best side. So Danielle was like, I don't like that Rachel did that. Now Marge is mad at me because of what Rachel told her. But I'm like, everything that she said was the truth. There was no lie spoken. So you should have been prepared for the outcome when you said it. Teresa then goes on to say that Marge is making her feel bad about not inviting Melissa's mom to their wedding. We cut back to the other house and Marge says that Jen Fessler was the one that brought it up and was like, is it an oversight? And Teresa says, no, we have history. So Dolores in her confession was like, do I wish she didn't say it? Yes, because kids are off limits and so are moms. So I guess Dolores didn't feel like it was right for Teresa to say that she had like bad history with Melissa's mom because they were just going to add another layer to the beef that they already have. Once again, it's her wedding. If she don't want to invite that girl mama, she ain't got to. Do I think that it's fake? Yes, because everything was good between you and her family up until you fell out with them all over again. And now all of a sudden you don't want to invite her family and her mama to the wedding. But this is what Teresa does. Teresa's ices out people when she don't need them. And then when she needs them, she all up in their face. She's a user. So Marge was like, Louie did go looking for your mom to invite her though. And Melissa was like, is that coming from a genuine place though? And Joe was like, by him going and Marge's husband was like, by him going and saying it, it makes him look better. And it does. And I said that on last week's episode. I feel like Louie will throw Teresa under the bus at all costs to make himself look like the good guy. He don't care about making her look stupid or like the villain. And she's too dingbatty to even understand that or recognize. Because why would you go and ask that girl mama to come to the wedding if you know good and well Teresa really don't want her there? She really don't want her there. So I wouldn't have even put myself in that position to even go and say anything because this ain't got nothing to do with you at the end of the day. This is all Teresa. So we then see a producer ask Joe Gorga in his confessional, did something happen between you and Louie? And he was like, yeah, it did. So they then cut to Teresa and Teresa then goes to tell us her side of the story on why Joe and Louie fell out. So Teresa in her confessional says, I'm tired of protecting my brother to keep the peace. There was a business deal and Louie lost $250,000. My brother came up with this idea to do a pizza oven that he wanted to do with me. So Louie was like, okay. He put up $250,000. I said no, because I don't think that you should get involved with business when it comes to family. But then he spoke to our attorney and was like, what percentage should I give Joey? I guess they came up with 5%. My brother went nuts. He wanted 50%. Then I called my brother, like, he put all the money in. If you want half, you need to put half in. And he didn't want to do that. So Louie took the loss. Now, when she was saying the story, I wish I would have been filming myself, because when she was giving her side of the story, the first thing I was over here sitting saying to myself was, it seemed like to me like they took the idea and ran with it. And then because they knew that he came up with the idea, they knew they was going to have to break him off something. That's what it was giving me. Because I'm like, if this was supposed to be an idea between Joe and Teresa, why is Louie then investing and getting involved? Why didn't Teresa put up the 250K? What I'm so confused on that. It seemed to me like Louie took the idea and ran with it, started the process of doing the business dealings. And because he knew that Joe was the one that came up with the idea, he knew that he was going to have to offer him some type of percentage, but he lowballed him and only offered him 5%. That's what I got from it. Then we go to Joe's confessional and get his side of the story. And the producer said, why didn't you ever talk about it? And Joe was like, I never wanted to talk about it. I don't want to bury my sister, but if she's talking about it, I can't lie. So he says, Louie screwed me on the piece of business, and she jumped ship and went to his side. I told him, it's my idea. It's me and my sister, and we'll honor my father. We'll call it No-No's Pizza. He loved it. My nephew got involved. We ordered these ovens. Louie puts the money up. He right away was like, I got it. And I'm figuring I'm giving 50% to my sister and he's getting 50%. And then my nephew comes over to my house and was like, did you see the boxes were ordered? I go, what boxes? He says, your sister had a photo shoot with her and the girls and they called it Skinny Pizza or something like that. When I find out, I call him and then Louie starts giving me some lip. Then my sister out of nowhere goes, did you put the effing money up? I go, what? You think I couldn't put 200K up? I go, it was my effing idea. It became very ugly and there was yelling and my sister was saying, this is why you don't do business with family. BS, you could do business with anyone if you can go in with trust and you're not looking to cheat somebody. So after hearing Joe's side of the story, it became blatantly clear to me that it seemed like Louie went behind his back and went ahead with the idea and cut him out of the deal. And then tried to play him on some, you can get 5%. I think that he lied somewhere along the line and told Teresa, I'm waiting on your brother to put up the other half of the money. He taking too long, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it myself. I'm not going to wait on him. I don't think that he ever gave Joe the opportunity to even put up the money. I think that he, like I said, went behind that man back and went ahead with the deal. So it could just be exclusively on some him and Teresa type time. And Teresa can, be the face of it with the girls. That's what I think that happened. Y'all let me know down below in the comment section. What do you think that happened? But that's how I feel. Because Louie to me is a schemer and a scammer. Let's not forget what he does for a living. He does the same thing that Jen Shaw does for a living. Well, did for a living. That got her in the clinker. So, So after telling Marge and them the story, Melissa is crying. And in her confessional, she was like, we were so hopeful for this new beginning with them. But I feel like this guy has no one, talking about Joe. And it is sad because he really doesn't have a family outside of hers. On his side of the family, he doesn't have anybody because, they cut off Kathy and them, which they never should have did, but they did that for Teresa. And now Teresa acting fake again because she done got her a man. So there you have it. All he has is Melissa and their family and Melissa's side of the family. And it's really sad. Later on that day, everybody gathers at Rachel Fuda's house for brunch. And Jackie tells the girls how Jen Aiden is having issues in her marriage with Bill because he's steady blaming her for how the kids are being spoiled and all of this stuff, and how she doesn't feel like Jen and Bill are really happy in their marriage. And I mean, they're not. They're not. They can't stand each other. And I feel like they're only sticking to this marriage because of their culture. If it wasn't for their culture, I think that especially Bill would have been left, child. Would have been left. So Dolores is shocked to hear this information. Because she and Jennifer haven't been speaking, but she didn't know that things were getting that bad. And she was saying in her confessional that despite what is going on between her and Jen, that she doesn't want to see anything bad happen between them because she loves Bill and Jen. And that's really admirable and so nice of Dolores, because Dolores is one of them people that she gonna ride with you no matter how bad you treat her. And we all have seen the nasty things that Jennifer has said about her in her confessionals and everything else. And I'm like, girl, you still up here trying to give this girl chances, and she don't deserve not an inch of empathy for you. Teresa, Louie, Jennifer, and Bill arrive, and Jennifer asked Dolores, can they get together soon so they can have a one-on-one conversation? She was like, yeah. Then we see Margaret and Danielle talk their issues out. And Margaret confronts her about, her and that she had been talking behind her back. And Danielle denies being catty and basically is acting like Rachel pulled this out of her butt and calls Rachel over. And Danielle was like, why does it seem that the conversation we had was me attacking Margaret? And Rachel was looking like, cause you said it? Like, what? And if you guys don't remember exactly what was said, take a listen.
I don't like that, the talky thing.
No, I know. But I think she's maybe a little too judgmental on Jen. Jen could get a little crazy, but I don't think Margaret could ever let anything go. And Margaret's ex-friend said Margaret is the one that drops the bomb on everybody.
Was that with this woman, Laura?
This is Margaret's best friend. She was saying that Margaret has an arsenal of stuff on women.
But do we even know that? Like, do we know that she's locked and loaded, like ready to fire?
She dropped the bomb on Teresa, with Louie, and then with Jen. She threw that rumor out.
It's not making any sense to me. I feel like Margaret has been nothing but nice to Danielle. So I'm confused why she's reading so much into this. Is it only the two of them that have had bad experiences with
Those are the only two that have said something to me.
Just because Teresa and Jennifer said it, their word is bond. So that's not how it works with me, honey.
If one little thing came out, I'd be concerned if she'd be the one to just blow it out of proportion. With a woman scorned.
With what?
A woman that's been...
In that conversation, she was basically trying to convince Rachel that what Teresa and Jen Aiden was saying about Margaret has to be true, that she's this conniving pit bull that will take you down at any cost and you can't trust her. You were talking about her in a negative manner. Don't try to act like you weren't, girl. Rachel just didn't bite, okay? So Rachel was like, you said she had an arsenal of information. Danielle was like, yeah, but that's throwing me under the bus to start stuff with her. That wasn't our conversation. Marge says, why would that even be in your head? Danielle says, your ex-friend is coming out saying these things. And Margaret was like, but do you believe everything that somebody tells you that I had an argument with? And Danielle was like, no, I can't believe I'm standing here right now because you were doing the same bleep. And Rachel was like, what did I say? And Danielle was like, you were in there going, and Rachel was like, but what did I say? And Danielle just standing there looking stuck on stupid because she know that girl didn't say nothing. And Rachel was like, exactly, nothing. And see, I don't like this. Now, I've been holding off on Danielle for the last 7 episodes, trying to give her grace and glory, because I liked her in the beginning. She was funny. She was charismatic. She was bubbly, over the top. But you a messy hoe. You a messy hoe. And I don't dig that. I don't like it. You sided with the devils and you starting stuff and then want to backtrack like you ain't did nothing. And then gonna try to pull Rachel in it like Rachel was on some fake time, fake type of stuff. No, you said it. Stand on it. Don't try to act like you didn't have that conversation. You just mad because Rachel didn't bite and Rachel went back and told her homegirl what was said. You was siding with Teresa and them. Y'all had already let Marge know that Teresa and them was having that conversation about her. And then you went a step further to then believe what they were saying and basically siding with them. And that's fine if that's how you feel. But stand on that and don't try to act like you didn't say those things. Danielle faking fugazi and I don't like her and she a punk. Get her out of here. I've had it with her. So after that, Danielle in her confession was like, I thought we had a cool thing going on, and now I'm seeing a person I didn't even know existed, and I'm actually disappointed that I allowed this person to take advantage of our conversation and throw me under the bus. No, darling, you're mad because you were talking crap and she went back and told. That's what you're mad about. She don't owe you no loyalty. Y'all just met. Y'all not homegirls. Y'all were budding friends, trying to start a friendship. And she started looking at you sideways because she's seeing, oh, you act just like them. You act like a child. You act like a little girl. You on the same type of sneaky, messy time that Jen and Teresa on. And she realized she didn't really want to have nothing to do with you like that. And I don't blame Rachel, because Rachel been sitting back peeping game on everybody and seeing who a real one and who's a fake one. And at the end of the day, while you talking about who Margaret and got into it with and all of this type of stuff, what did she do to you? Nothing. She had been nothing but nice to you, hadn't talked about you or anything. And you even said that, like, this lady ain't did nothing to me. So instead of worrying about beef that she got with other people, worry about how she treats you. Grow up. Jen Fessler then talks to Teresa and Louie about Melissa's mom not coming to the wedding. And Jen was like, she's under the impression that her mother might have done something wrong to you. And Jackie overhears the conversation and tells Dolores. And she was like, I don't even want Melissa to know about this because she was crying this morning. And Dolores was like, oh, she was? And she was like, yeah. So Teresa's like, babe, can you take care of it? Or otherwise I'm going to be throwing somebody in the freaking lake. Once again, why are you having Louie fight your battles for you? This is your family. He don't even know these people like that. To be going over and inserting himself in a beef that's been going on for how many years now? You go talk to her. Everybody irks my soul on this show. So Louie lobster looking self goes and pulls Melissa so they can have a one-on-one conversation. And I felt like that was totally inappropriate. You don't go ask this man wife to go have a conversation when he ain't even messing with y'all for real like that. I thought that was inappropriate. So then him and Melissa sit down and he tells her, let me hold your hand. Let me just hold your hand. Like, why is you holding this married woman hand? That's weird. You weirdo. You already look like a drowning fish. Gross. So Louie says that her mom has been really good to him and his sons. And Melissa was like, yeah, she's obsessed with you guys. Like, totally like in the dark about why they acting funny towards her mama all of a sudden. So Teresa then goes over and joins the conversation with the girls. And Teresa was like, why is everybody talking about this? If Melissa and my brother have a problem, they should have talked to me about it. And Jackie was like, Melissa's one of my best friends and she was crying this morning. And Teresa was like, well, she could tell her sister-in-law if she has a problem with my guest list. So Danielle and Rachel then walk over and join the conversation. And Teresa was like, you have a lot to say about everyone. And Jackie was like, yeah, just about a few people. And that's when Danielle chimes in and was like, I was really mad that I heard you all were talking, crap about my brother last night. Jen Fessler, Jackie, and Dolores, was like, there gotta be more to the situation. And she's adamant that there isn't any more to the situation. And Jen Fessler was like, well, if y'all really got into it about an Instagram post, then that's cuckoo. And she was like, yeah, it is. But you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having to defend myself. I'm done. And she get mad and she leave. And I'm like, girl, every time somebody say something to you, you gonna run and leave? It's too much good food here. Too many free drinks for you to be getting mad and leaving every time somebody confronts you, girl. You got to have tough skin if you're going to be on a show like this. You can't throw grenades and then get mad when a bomb is dropped on you. Like, that ain't what we do in Jersey. That ain't what we do. Teresa then calls Rachel a shit starter, then goes and joins Louie and Melissa's conversation and asks Melissa what she's upset about. And I hate when people play them type of games. You already know what's up. You already know why she got an attitude. So Melissa was like, I was upset that you said you had issues with my mom. Teresa says, I said there's a history there with your family. Louie was like, Teresa, you're coming over here and ruining the moment between me and Melissa. Respect our space. And Teresa's like, well, Jackie said, he was like, I don't care if God came down and said something to you. It's not fair to you to do this. You're not making any sense with what you're saying, Teresa. Teresa. It doesn't matter what anybody's saying. You need to respect it. I'm here talking to your sister-in-law. And I'm looking like, what in the doctor field is going on here? Who he talking to? First of all, I can understand him feeling some type of way because you asked me to talk to her, so let me do that. But at the same token, don't yell at me and belittle me. You know what I'm saying? Period. Let alone in front of a group of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, who you talking to? But on the other hand, it's like Teresa is a 5-year-old in the brain, and you have to yell at her sometimes for her to get it because she's so damn dumb. But I was just like, okay, all right, that was a lot. And you could tell Melissa was uncomfortable, like, okay. And she even said in her confessional that, you know, this is the real Louie. Louie want to be a good guy and all that, but this is the real him that comes out. And I think that Louie knows how to play a good game, honey. He knows how to play good cop, bad cop. He knows how to turn it on, and he knows how to turn it off. Then after Teresa is escorted away or pushed away, Joe then comes over like, what's going on? And you see Louie didn't tell him to mind his business, child. So Louie was like, you know, have a seat. So he sits down. And Louie was like, you know, I would love for your mother to come to our wedding. I want peace. Melissa then looks over at Teresa and was like, well, that's who's causing all of this. Like, I don't think that it's just Teresa, though. I've said this and I'll say it time and time again. Teresa and Joe are at fault. Not Melissa, not Joe Giudice. It's Teresa and Joe that are the problem, and they parents, because they parents had this same mentality. That's why they ain't fool with their family members, and now it's trickled down to their own children. But I need for people to stop blaming Melissa, stop blaming all these outside parties, and blame the two people that are at the center of this, and that is Joe and Teresa. Teresa is back over with the girls, and she was like, my brother needs to get therapy because he keeps blaming me for everything, and she has daddy issues. She needs to go get help. And Jackie was like, that's not nice. And Teresa was like, Jackie, shut the F up. Get out of my effing face. And I'm looking like, because she told you right. That was underhanded. That was a jab. It was inappropriate to say, because let Melissa had said something about you and your daddy. Oh, baby, it would have been World War III. You would drag that on for the next 50 years if Melissa said something about your father or your mama. But Teresa can say whatever she want to say about Melissa and throw jabs and accuse her of cheating and everything else. But they can't ever feel no type of way about the stuff that she does. And that was messed up. And Jackie better than me, because who you talking to? Baby, Teresa and that fedora would have been dragged across that table. So Melissa gets up to go and see what they yelling about. And now it's just Louie and Joe. And Louie says to Joe, you know, I'm a good guy. I live with your 4 nieces. I wear your father's pajamas at night to make them feel safe and loving. Do you know that? And the look on Joe's face was like he was in a vortex of confusion. And I think his brain was trying to catch up with the words that had just came out of Louie's mouth, because he, like myself, could not believe that this man had literally just uttered those words. Like when he said that, my stomach started to bubble. That is the most creepy, disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life, for this grown man to be talking about wearing another man's father's pajamas, quote unquote, to make his stepdaughters feel safe and loving. You wearing a dead man's clothes, a dead man that you don't even know. What? And then you sit here in this man face telling him that you wearing his daddy pajamas. Joe should have leaped on him. Should have leapfrogged on him. If y'all Teresa stands and fans or whomever, don't see that this man is a weirdo sociopath, then God bless you. I see right through this man. This man is a creepster. Ain't nothing else got to be said to me, honey. Nothing else. Nothing else in the world. Teresa comes back over again and joins the conversation. Was like, Joe, if you would have called me, I would have invited her right away. Why didn't you do that instead of telling all these effing strangers? Joe was like, before all this went crazy, when you decided you didn't want to put her in the wedding, I called Louie and Gia and I said, tell my sister, don't do this with Melissa, the bridesmaid thing. And you did nothing. I'm so mad. I'm so mad at you. Once again, this is a Joe and Teresa problem, because listen to what Joe just said. I called Louie and Gia. Why are you calling Louie and Gia about something that got to do with Teresa? Like, what? This is between you and your sister. Why are you involving your niece? And then you wonder why she's so dang on grown and getting in y'all situation, because y'all put her in y'all situation. You was out of line and out of pocket for that. You don't involve her in an issue that you got with her mama. And then why is you calling Louie, somebody that you don't even like for real, about the situation, when you already call him manipulative and all of this type of stuff? You think that he a schemer and a scammer and all of this type of things. So why are you calling him for aid? Make it make sense. Y'all both childish and ignorant. Y'all really truly are. Teresa says, I'm upset too. From last year, I felt like you and Melissa should have had my back more. This is what this lady has been screaming since season 2 or 3, whenever Joe and Melissa joined the show. You don't have my back. You gotta have my back. You need to have my back. Girl, have your own dang on back. Have you ever had theirs? Absolutely not. I cannot think of one instance on this show where you have ever had Melissa and Joe's back. It always goes to y'all don't have my back. Y'all don't have my back. Then when they do have your back, you F them over when it suits you. So once again, make it make sense and find something else to be mad about. Because at the end of the day, Melissa did have your back last season when it came to the Marge situation, and you saw it for yourself. She told that girl numerous times last season to stay out of it and to mind her business. She can't control what come out that lady mouth. She older than her. She old enough to be her Mima. She gonna control what Marge does. But she still told her, leave it alone. Mind your business. Stay out of it. Did you do that? Did you check Jen when she was cussing your brother out, calling him out his name? No. You sat there on mute. Even when Jen and Melissa almost came to blows, what you do? You left with them. You ain't even stay there to see how they was doing, how your sister-in-law was doing. Girl, get out of here. Get out of here. Oh my God. Melissa then comes back over, and Teresa tells Melissa that she should have had her back with Marge. And Melissa was like, you should have stuck up for him when Jennifer was talking about him. Teresa's like, I did. And Melissa was like, I hate when you talk BS. Teresa was like, I'm done. Babe, can you fix it? Oh, my word. Joe was like, you're happy, right? Then why are you so mean? I've been happy for a long time. And Teresa was like, I don't think so. So Melissa was like, this is your blood. And Jennifer made fun of him and you chimed in. Louie was like, okay, so at this point, Joe gets up because he's mad now. He's frustrated. So he storms off. They both do the same dramatic tail stuff. So Louie was like, she called you a B-boy. But Joey, you play it real well. Joe was like, shut up. I met you in months and you effed me over. Melissa then gets up to leave because she's done. And Joe was like, we've become the biggest disappointment in life. So they go to their car to leave, but they're blocked in because Louie's car is in the way. Margaret and Rachel then run over to Teresa and Louie to join in on the conversation. And I'm like, Margaret, this is your problem. You steady putting you and your long beak in people's business, starting stuff so you can run back and tell Joe and Melissa everything that Teresa and Louie said about them to keep the mess going. You ain't no better. I see right through you and your wrinkled neck. You need to mind your business and tend to that broke arm of yours. That's why your wrist broke now, because God don't like ugly. Mind your business. You don't even like Teresa. So why are you running over there to talk to her? And Teresa fake because you don't like Marge. So why are you even entertaining her conversation? So Teresa was like, last year, if she would have stuck up for me, if she would have had my back, and Marge was like, she did. And Teresa was like, no, she didn't. And Louie was like, I'm done. I'm going to leave. And she was like, why? And he was like, you have to listen to her. You and your brother have the same exact problem. So Joe comes back to ask Louie to move his car. And Louie was like, all right, I got you. And Joe sees Teresa sitting there talking to Margaret and Rachel. And he was like, what are you sitting there talking with Margaret for? She's so dirty, remember? She's so dirty. And I'm with Joe on this. Why are you talking to her when you don't even like her and you blame her for all of the stuff that happened last season? So Louie was like, he's enjoying this now. You don't enjoy this. And see, this is why I be talking about with the manipulation and mind games that this man liked to play. Because he liked to play peacemaker, but then he liked to throw in little sly digs. You know what I'm saying? When he turns to Teresa and was like, he's enjoying this now. You don't enjoy this. What? And then he turns around and Joe was like, did Marge cause our whole family problems? You want to dance? Because Louie is trying to like push him back. And he was like, what, you want to dance? And Louie was like, get off me before I effing punch you in the face. Joe, stop, please, because you're being effing smart. I got nothing to lose. And Joe called his bluff and said, what? And walked up on him like, what's up? And what Louie do? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You's a pussy. I don't like that man. Because you talked all that talk. And then when you saw that Joe was with the shits, all of a sudden now, it's not worth it. You see how he play games? I don't like that man. He gonna run Teresa ragged and leave her broke. Watch what I tell you. So then Teresa sits there with Margaret and Rachel, blaming Melissa for everything wrong that has happened between her and Joe for the last, I don't know how many years. And I'm tired of it. I'm so sick of it. Oh my God. That lady cannot be to blame for everything. You and your brother are the blame for all of this. Like, stop trying to blame that girl. I'm starting to feel like you got a hard on for Melissa or something. It's weird, this obsession that she has. It's so weird. But overall, I'm going to give tonight's episode an A+ for the drama and entertainment of it all. Even though it's coming at a family's expense, it was grade A entertainment, honey. It really honestly was. Y'all let me know down below in the comment section what y'all thought about tonight's episode. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.